Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can I? Yes, thank you. So, as most of you know, I would guess saying most of you know, Sarvajal means water for all. And what we are going to talk today about is saying how do we deliver reliable last mile coverage by leveraging technology, right? So this is neither about water, nor about Sarvajal business model, nor purely about technology. But how to use technology to deliver something as basic as drinking water every day of the right quality and in the right quantity. So that's the story. Now this picture is Saragam village of Ajmer district. I think many of you may have come across this one news article recently which was drawing upon a report saying almost every second rural Indian woman has to, on an average, walk 2 kilometers every day, about 20 minutes of walk for reaching the source of water, and another 15 minutes of waiting there or processing there, and another 20 minutes of coming back. So that's the level of burden that not having access to safe drinking water actually imposes on rural India and also on urban slum. And largely this is actually shouldered by women. Now, so when we started, and by the way, I am telling you a story of 10 years how the technology has been leveraged, right? So some of these things have to go into the past to say when we started, we had 4 choices. As a social enterprise, what would you actually look at? You can't provide piped water. Bulk of the poor India cannot actually afford packaged drinking water. Domestic purifiers assume that you have running water in your house, right? And obviously fighting over tanker and taking water from there is a highly undignified way of living your daily life, right? So we said the only solution that we could see at that point in time was to say, let's pick up community level design, let's create decentralized purification units and provide safe drinking water through an entrepreneurial model, create a pay-per-use, because in social sector, all the time you get challenged to say, are you self-sustainable? Are your units self-sustainable? So whether to charge or not is a much larger conversation, and I'm very happy that we have a moderator who has a different position, and sometime we should have that conversation. Going next. So what is the value chain? You have a purification machine? No. You have a purification machine. You today have 1600 purification machines. And at any point in time, you can right now ask me saying, how much of the water your Delhi All India Institute of Medical Science machine has done versus your Shimla Indira Point machine has done versus your Sangli machine has done. What I'm trying to tell you is, knowing the vitals of purification process became the first step. We never claimed that we are inventors or innovators of purification technology. In fact, we took a position that purification technology is incidental. We are purification technology agnostic. People can come and fetch, it can get home delivered, and it can be accessed through something called water ATM, which we fortunately or unfortunately got tagged as the people who created it, which we did. But here are the principles that we need to understand. The principle is, you find decentralized way of doing things, try to create a business model around it. That doesn't mean that you leave some people out of it. You create technological leverage points where you can even address those who cannot pay. And then thirdly, to keep the system price transparent, quality accountable. Make it run every day. If there is no reliability at our last mile effort, then I don't think we have achieved anything, right? So now, the governments were quick, unfortunately, to replicate the model and do the tenders in thousands. And these were the questions we were asking them. Do you know your machines are working? Do you know how much volume each of the machine has done? Do you know every household has been knocked? Do you know what is the quality of water that's coming out? And if you don't know these 5 questions, actually you are not sure of the sustainability. So what am I proposing? I am basically saying that over last 10 years, we created source to service and information layering on our entire value chain, which basically said, what are the vitals of your purification process? What are the details of your dispensing mechanism? You could be purifying a lot of water, but it could be going to only one particular aftermarket element. No, you want to make sure if you have 150 card holders, each of them is coming and taking water. So that's what we created. And we also know saying who's buying how much and at what point in time, etc. So across the use cases, urban slums in Delhi, Bhubaneswar, 19 states, 1600 locations, rural, and you have the wheel-clad ladies also using the water ATM. A lot of you may have assumptions around saying, you know, there's a lot of tech apathy and how are illiterate going to use it. No, nothing. It's all about design. You swipe the card, you hear a beep, you press the button, it is start, regardless of what is the size of your container. When container is going to be full, you press it again, it stops. Doesn't take any literacy, doesn't take anything else, right? So it's all the beauty of design. Then how are you leveraging technology again? You say, let's look at the impact. So you have your own offline mechanisms of doing the sample surveys, and then you lay it over with your online data. So you're basically saying not only among the users, but only among the non-users, the awareness has gone up in the villages where you're working. If the same factors were operating, the downtrend in user medical, out-of-pocket medical expenses saving, basically, should have been the same as the non-user. No, the user one is actually 15% more steep. So you see there is now evidence to say safe drinking water is actually creating value in terms of medical savings also. Then you also know the surveys from the people to say, what do I like most about this system? And that happens to be 87% time quality of water. And ease of operation is the second thing. We are now trying to build some predictive models on it. Someone who has bought over last 1 month, who has come 15 times to the ATM, is he or she coming tomorrow? Or someone who has been buying 5 liter versus 10 liter, who is most probable to come tomorrow? Or there are multiple other things. If you have not bought for last 3 days, are you going to come? Right? So having that level of granularity to enhance the quality of your operation, to serve many more people. So the real key, I think, is how do you align the metrics of the organization or your work? Impacting largest number of people, providing safe drinking water to them becomes your goal. Then you become saying, okay, volume is what I can actually measure. And then you say, who is taking how much? That is how my units are going to be measured. Anyways, 2, 3 quick examples, although only 1 minute is left. So Shimla had some water grid compromise. It got compromised a couple of years back, and the guys were calling me to say, hello, what can you do? They said, we have only 6 ATMs. What can we do there? Saying, no, but still you can do something. I said, okay, we'll do the messaging campaign. We'll tell every user saying, now the machines are available for next entire 1 month, free for cost. You just go and push the button, you'll get the water. The entire city can actually come and take the water, and municipal corporation will get data, who's getting how much water, and municipal corporation can actually pay. So your quick calamity response, sitting in Ahmedabad, doing it for Shimla in less than 2 hours. The other thing is Munnak Canal. A lot of you may remember Jat agitation. Munnak Canal got compromised. Delhi's supply went down by 75%. And all our systems were in off-grid network, right? We were operating in places where there is no pipeline. There, actually, the colonies where the pipeline was there, people started coming and taking water from here. What do you see? Off-grid actually has a greater resilience. So that's again a technology angle to it. Another thing, and this is the picture I want to spend some time, and especially to Mr. Moderator, also to Anshu, to say, look, on the left, this is how it is happening. On the right, this is how it is happening at Sarvajal location in the same place. These are the same people. If we don't leverage technology to give them the right design choices, we start opining saying, oh, people fight and those are hostile communities. Sorry. We are giving them choices where they are becoming hostile. It's our job to leverage technology rightly to give them the right choices. I think there are a couple more examples. I would not like to go into the details of this, but I would like to seed an idea. Because we started with decentralized, because we started at community level, because we said saying you need to do the metering, monitoring of quality, and if required, monetization. Today, the Jal Jeevan campaign is actually talking about doing single village schemes which are completely decentralized and going to be managed at community level. We are in process of developing pipe water IoT also, because when we developed this, we didn't even know the term called IoT. So that's been the journey. You don't really need to work on technology. You just make sure saying you're delivering what you set out to deliver, and you just need to find where technology can help. Thank you.
Wonderful.